How safe is your job in a world being transformed by AI? Let's talk about what's really happening in the job market and how you can protect your future career from being replaced by artificial intelligence. A lot of people are stuck asking the same thing: what should I study? Which career path is still worth it? But to truly succeed in this new world, you need to understand one thing first: what's changing and why. Because when you understand the bigger shifts happening around you, you can make smarter, faster decisions about your life. So here's how this will go. We're going to start by zooming out, looking at the major global shifts already reshaping the job market. Then we'll break it down, step by step, so you can build a clear strategy for your future. Sound good? Let's dive in. There are 5 major shifts you need to be watching right now, because these are already changing how, where, and if people work. Let's start with the biggest one: technology. Advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation aren't coming. They're already here. They're creating brand new roles, but they're also replacing millions of existing jobs fast. Next, geopolitical instability. Tensions between countries, especially between the US and China, are reshaping global trade and shaking up how companies operate worldwide. That's forcing entire industries to rethink how they hire, where they invest, and who they need on their teams. Third, and most people overlook this: demographics. Aging populations in countries like South Korea and Japan are increasing demand for healthcare. Meanwhile, fast-growing younger populations in lower-income regions are creating a surge in education and training needs. Fourth, economic pressure. The rising cost of living and slower global growth are forcing workers everywhere to adapt. Upskilling isn't optional anymore, it's survival. And finally, the green transition. As climate change becomes impossible to ignore, demand is surging for renewable energy experts, sustainability engineers, and environmental problem solvers. So if you're wondering why careers are changing, now you know. These 5 forces are behind it all. Now let's get specific. What kind of changes are we actually going to see in the job market over the next 5 years? To answer that, we'll use data from the latest World Economic Forum report. In their previous update, they predicted a net loss of 14 million jobs worldwide. That meant 83 million jobs would disappear, while only 69 million new ones would be created. But the new forecast is more optimistic. By 2030, around 170 million new jobs are expected to emerge, mostly in tech, healthcare, and green energy. At the same time, about 92 million jobs will still be lost, a big number, but a much better balance than before. Now let's be clear, these are just projections. They're not guarantees, but the pattern is obvious. Opportunities are growing, especially for people with the right skills. And those without them, they're getting left behind. So before we talk about the careers that are rising, let's look at the ones quietly disappearing, the jobs AI is already phasing out. Let's start with what's being replaced. Take postal service clerks. Behind the scenes, sorting mail used to require entire teams. Today, automated systems do it faster, cheaper, and without breaks. You'll still see delivery workers for now, but even they might be replaced once drone logistics go mainstream. Next, data entry clerks. Their work is now being automated by AI tools that collect, input, and even clean data with almost zero human oversight. Bank tellers, online banking, and mobile apps are taking over. Walk into a branch today, and you'll often find just one teller supervising a row of machines. Most customers never need to interact with a human anymore. Cashiers and ticket clerks, you've seen it. Self-checkout systems, kiosk payments, e-tickets. Think about it. When's the last time you bought a movie or bus ticket from an actual person? Even administrative assistants and executive secretaries are being quietly replaced. Tools like Calendly and Motion AI now handle scheduling, reminders, note-taking, things that once required a full-time employee. So here's the pattern. If a job is repetitive, predictable, and rules-based, it's being replaced. These roles aren't hypothetical, they're already shrinking, and most people don't even realize it until it's their role that's gone. So what kinds of jobs are actually growing? The answer is clear. Tech roles are leading the charge. Let's break it down. Big data specialists are digging into massive data sets to find insights that help companies make faster, smarter decisions. Fintech engineers are building the next generation of payment platforms and digital banking systems, transforming how money moves, how we pay, and how we save. Now let's pause for a second. Did you notice something? About these new jobs aren't random. They directly replace the old ones. Data entry clerks are going away. Data scientists are stepping in. Bank tellers are disappearing. Fintech engineers are taking over. That's not a coincidence. That's a signal. AI and machine learning specialists are creating the algorithms behind everything, from voice assistants to autonomous vehicles. Meanwhile, software developers are still in high demand because apps, platforms, and digital tools need to be built, improved, and maintained constantly. You might think the future only belongs to AI engineers. That's not true, and I'll explain why in another video. But for now, just know, it's not just about coding, it's about how you use these tools to solve problems. One more growing field: security management specialists, the people protecting our networks, data, and systems from rising cyber threats. So yes, jobs are disappearing, but new ones are emerging. And the people ready to evolve? They're not just surviving, they're winning. When we look at the fastest growing jobs today, a clear pattern shows up. Many of them were already rising in the last report from the World Economic Forum, but a few surprises are gaining momentum. For instance, in the past we saw roles like business intelligence analysts and sustainability specialists ranking high. They may not be at the very top now, but they're still critically important. There's a massive push for green jobs right now, driven by climate change policies and investment in clean energy. So we're seeing huge demand for renewable energy engineers, autonomous vehicle specialists, sustainability consultants, all working to shift us toward more sustainable systems. But that's not all. Healthcare and education, two of the most human-centered industries, are seeing major growth too. As populations age and younger generations grow, we need more. Nurses to care for aging communities, educators to prepare the next wave of workers. These industries aren't just surviving, they're booming. So if you're someone who thinks, I'm not a tech person, don't worry, there's space for you too, in fields that blend human skills with modern tools. That's where the real opportunity lies. Before we continue, if you found this topic useful so far, please take a second to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. It really helps us reach more people across the world who are trying to learn about AI and future careers. And it tells the YouTube algorithm that this kind of content matters. Thank you for your support. Now let's continue. So, what skills actually matter in the future? We keep hearing about job titles and industries, but what should you actually learn? Let's start with the obvious. The fastest growing hard skills are AI and machine learning, big data analytics, cybersecurity, general tech literacy. These skills aren't just for engineers anymore. They're becoming essential in almost every industry, but don't ignore the soft skills. In a world dominated by automation, what sets you apart is still human. Creative thinking, leadership, emotional intelligence, problem solving across teams. One area getting massive attention: generative AI. In countries like the US, people are learning prompt engineering, AI safety, and decision-making powered by Gen AI. In places like India, companies are even sponsoring training for AI tools to improve productivity and speed up development. So here's what that means. You don't have to become an AI engineer, but you do need to understand how to work with AI. That's the new literacy. Now let's tackle a question I hear all the time. If AI is replacing everything, should I even bother learning new skills? Isn't it too late for me to catch up? Honestly, no. That mindset, that fear, is exactly what holds people back. Think of it like this. Everyone learns basic math, even if they don't become a mathematician. That's what coding is becoming. It's not just for developers anymore. It's becoming a basic literacy, the same way reading, writing, and spreadsheets once were. But here's the good news. The future is not just about tech. It's about combining tech with human strengths. We're entering a world where the winners aren't just engineers, they're the ones who can think, adapt, and lead. Careers in environmental science, green energy, healthcare, education are booming, and they're all being transformed by technology. So whether you're artistic, analytical, or somewhere in between, you can carve out a place for yourself, but only if you're willing to grow. Remember earlier when we talked about jobs disappearing? Here's where it all ties together. There's a powerful correlation between the roles that are fading and the new ones rising to take their place. Data entry clerks are vanishing, but data analysts and AI specialists are exploding in demand. Bank tellers are going away, but fintech engineers are building the tools replacing them. Secretaries and admin assistants are being automated, but productivity tech experts and AI workflow designers are stepping in. So what does this mean for you? If you're in a job that's repetitive or rule-based, you're at risk. But if you're willing to upskill, retrain, and adapt, you could transition into one of the most in-demand roles of the next decade. And here's the kicker. The World Economic Forum says that by 2030, nearly 60% of workers will need some form of upskilling to stay relevant. That's not a maybe, that's a fact. So the question is, are you going to wait? Or are you going to get ahead? So let's bring it all together. Yes, AI is transforming the world. Yes, some jobs are disappearing, but that's not the whole story. Because for every job that fades, a new one is rising. And for every outdated skill, there's a modern one waiting to be learned. The people who will thrive in the next 5-10 years aren't the ones with the most degrees. They're the ones who take action. So if you're serious about future-proofing your career, this is your window. Reskill, upskill, rebuild. And most importantly, don't wait. You don't need to become an AI genius. You just need to start. One small step, one real skill. That's what separates those who survive from those who lead. And if you want help getting started, we've got more videos coming that break it all down. Skills, tools, free platforms, and career paths. So hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and join us as we break down everything you need to win in the AI era. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.